Hey, it's your boy Glock and Loaded. Today I wanted to talk about concealment holsters. So if you're like me, you've probably got a drawer of holsters by now, and just it seems like it's a never-ending quest to find that perfect holster. But as for me, I've carried the standard Crossbreed Supertuck Deluxe for just over a year now, and broken it a little bit, and so far so good, no major complaints, but again, just wanted to see what else was out there, and I thought I'd pick up a few other ones just to kind of compare and see if there was a new winner, so to speak. But just thought this might be helpful in terms of sharing some information, or at least what I've learned about these three common or popular holsters for anybody else that might be looking as well. And I think it really comes down to 5 factors for most people, and the order of priority of those factors really depends on your specific situation, right? I think those are number 1, concealment, number 2, comfort, number 3, draw, number 4, retention, and last but not least, durability. And again, those are no particular order, but I think depending on your specific situation, you may have a certain preference. So I just wanted to talk about each of those topics a little bit across these 3 holsters and how they kind of stack up against those factors, and hopefully you guys will find this helpful. Alright, so the 3 holsters that I've got here, again, the Crossbreed Supertuck Deluxe is what I've been carrying, but I've also got a hidden hybrid holster, as well as MTAC Minotaur. And these are all pretty much stock. I haven't really done any of the upgrades that are available. Just wanted to compare apples to apples in terms of what I've got here. I'll quickly talk about concealment. So by far, after trying kind of each of these 3, I still believe that the Crossbreed still has by far the best concealment. I think it's kind of broad and flat profile with a small Kydex shell. Makes it very easy to conceal under clothing, and it prints by far the least. And I'll share some pictures with you in just a minute to show you what that looks like. Next, I think, would be the hidden hybrid. That was a very close second to the the Crossbreed. I think the only difference is it's got a longer profile on the Kydex holster. So this specific part right here sticks out kind of towards the bottom of your pocket or wherever it kind of comes out on the other end, depending on where you wear it. And I think last on concealment is just the MTAC. Just my opinion again. I think it's just got too many rough edges and too many kind of sharp corners that tend to stick out and print through the shirt. And I think it's got a small profile, so that kind of makes it bulky as well. I'll talk about a little bit more about that when we talk about comfort. In terms of comfort, it's also, I think, the very same order as concealment. I think Crossbreed first, followed by hidden hybrid, and then the Minotaur by MTAC. And I think it's for very much the same reasons. Just the broad kind of base of both the Crossbreed Supertuck and the hidden hybrid allow for more distribution of the weight of your pistol, and it just makes it that much more comfortable. So next, let's talk about draw. In my opinion, again, I think the Crossbreed Supertuck is okay in terms of ease of draw. I think where it fails, at least in the standard model, is the fact that it is very hard to grip the entire pistol. I'll show you with my Glock 23 here. It's very difficult to get the entire gun without moving your finger or manipulating the holster a little bit. Whereas with the MTAC as well as the hidden hybrid, you can get your finger pretty much behind it and get a full grip as you draw out. I think same thing here with the hidden hybrid. So overall, in terms of draw, each holster has its pros and cons. I think one thing I'll say overall in terms of the winner, both in terms of ease of draw and proper grip, is by far the hidden hybrid holster. I think I would have to say that one thing that I'm concerned about the way the Minotaur MTAC is drawn is the fact that this flap is a little bit too close to the Kydex body, and what I found, at least when I wear it, maybe I'm just overweight, is that it kind of pushes in, and it's hard to get the gun in and out. It kind of gets in the way a little bit. And the hidden hybrid, again, very easy to draw in terms of coming out of the holster, just the grip is the issue. So now let's talk about retention. I think hands down the first place winner in terms of retention in both of ease of adjustments as well as the actual retention when you're moving around is the Minotaur MTAC. It's got a very well molded Kydex kind of shell around the gun. Very, very tight grip, and the adjustments are actually very easy. You just take an Allen key here and you can tighten them in or out on this side to your retention preference. Very easy, very well. I think the hidden hybrid comes a very close second. It's also got a very similar model where you just take a Phillips screw and tighten in or out to adjust the retention. It's got a slightly looser shell, but nonetheless it does a pretty decent job, and I think this is where the Crossbreed Supertuck is lacking. You can adjust the retention, but not by tightening screws, and it's actually it's kind of come loose over time. The only thing you really can do is apply heat to the Kydex and kind of push in and mold it a little bit, and I think the loose nature of the shell itself makes it not as well, not as good of an option for retention compared to the other two. So now let's talk about durability. I think none of these holsters are very old, and I've only had my Crossbreed for about a year now, so that's really not a fair comparison. But from what I understand, these are built very well, solid cowhide or horsehide depending on your preference, real leather. And they're meant to last a lifetime. The hidden hybrid, I was a little bit disappointed in getting it, and it seems like it's almost pleather, right? And the stitching, although it's tight, the thickness of this piece kind of tells me that it's maybe not made as durable, just because of the sheer amount of leather that's had to be sewn in. One thing I do like about this holster, though, is it's got the option of using it as an in waistband or out of the waistband using a belt, for example. It does have metal clips, and so does the hidden hybrid. Minotaur, again, similar kind of pleathery feel, but again, I think only time will tell. Some people swear by these. The only thing I did not like about this in terms of durability was these plastic clips. Granted, I mean, if they're on a holster, they should be okay, but compared to the metal ones, in my opinion, I just don't see a comparison, right? I'm not sure, and I know you can upgrade these, but I mean, these kind of clips should probably come standard, is my opinion. Anyway, so just kind of to wrap up, in terms of concealment and comfort, I think the Crossbreed Supertucks wins, as well as durability. When it comes to retention, I think the Minotaur MTAC is the winner. And overall draw, as well as comfort and concealment to a degree, I think it would be the hidden hybrid. Again, these are just my opinions. Everybody has their own preferences, but hoping this information is helpful for anyone in the market for a new concealed carry holster. Thanks again, guys. Appreciate your time.